I'm not gonna lie, my life's pretty tough. Sometimes it feels undeserved, unjustified, like the world's against me, but I know that's not true. Somehow, I'm unaware of my actions, some kind of autopilot mode that I have no control over. I was diagnosed in 2010. Ever since then, my life changed forever. I became a lost cause, with no motivation or direction. My life lost its value, and before long, my definition of life was an empty timeline. Arguments became a common pastime. It felt like I was just filling in time till my next major failure. This one time, I ran away from home during a heated argument and snuck back in an hour later. Thankfully, that hasn't happened again. It wasn't all bad though. My best friend was always keen to spend time with me. We did everything together. He didn't mind my imperfections and we were too busy having fun to notice them. Things stayed the same for a while. I was coping at least. Pity I couldn't say the same about my family. They changed, grew tired of trying to deal with me. I didn't want any of this. Why is this happening? I tried my best to fit in, but yet it still went wrong. Nights were spent contemplating why I'm the way I am. I felt like a useless waste of space, without goals, dreams, or a plan for the future. I was in a bad position, and didn't have much faith in myself. Just to hope that one day things will change, that all this will get better. It has to, right? It won't always be like this. Homework was a painful grind. It never seemed to end, and when it did, it was far from an A. I used art as a way to escape from my troubles. I could show my true colours and express myself. It worked too. People liked me. Well, not me, my art. My talents were used as a bridge, helping me connect with people. People would get to know me and witness my faults. They discovered my glitches. From there, they would either befriend me, forgive me of my issues, or turn against me. The majority did the latter. I had one true friend, who I could always rely on. He didn't seem to notice my flaws. We got along seamlessly, no issues, just good times. School was a battlefield, landmines at every turn. I was lucky to get through one day of school without an amputation or some form of casualty. I felt like a one-man army up against the world. Without any allies, I belonged to no man's land, crawling in the rubble of past misfortune. Back then, I was triggered by almost anything. Instead of a heart, I had a live grenade ticking in my chest. I was dangerous, turning any ordinary situation into pure madness within a few seconds with just a sentence. I never realised when it happened either. I'd be talking, then all of a sudden, I'd be in the wrong. There was no turning back at that point. I would just keep trying to fix it, but it grew worse each time. Eventually, it got to a point where something had to be done. This constant cycle had to be broken. No longer was I going to be this way. I started to grow more aware of my condition and how it affects me. Instead of fighting the effects, I embraced them. I stopped trying to fix things and just moved on, focused more on my art and became captivated by it. I wouldn't stop. I could spend a whole day working on a piece, uninterrupted and motivated till it was done. This new ability gave me a reason to turn my life around. No longer did I want to be an empty face that had nothing to offer. I started building a name for myself and began to try my hardest at what I do best. With a direction in mind, life started to progress. Opportunities appeared, and I would leap on them without hesitation. Things were finally starting to turn around. I was on the right track, but I wasn't perfect, far from it. Family arguments didn't stop. I just had a hobby to cover them up. Aside from my glitches, I was finally happy. The way I turned my life around gave me a great amount of pride. I removed the toxic side of my personality and replaced it with my creative flair. Which brings us to today. With a strong passion motivating me through each day, I am content with my current position. I have people who support me, and I could not be more grateful for their efforts. It's been a true struggle, but I have made it through to the other side, stronger than ever. The past me was misunderstood, confused, and in a state of despair. But the present me is confident, grateful, and prouder than ever. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to meet the future me.